From the badge on the chest to the suit and tie, from the sweat on the steel to the public eye, blocking out the job, laying down the weight. Open up the mic, set the record straight. Tell me, who are you, brother? Tell me, who are you, sister? Tell me, who are you, boss? Getting down to the truth when the blue comes off.
Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Deshonda Carter here, but you can call me DC. Thanks so much for tuning in today to my show, When the Blue Comes Off. And I have the honor to have the special guest with me today, none other than Lieutenant, Robert Mclymore. Let me y'all know I get excited with my little cheer. Hold on. Let me see. Hey, Lil T, how you doing?
Doing good. What's up?
Nothing. So we're gonna talk about you today. We're not gonna talk about me. We're gonna talk about you.
I
So let's get into it. Law enforcement. Tell me what drove you to that line of work.
really, I was just I needed a job.
Don't we all?
No, I was just, I went through a criminal justice class in when I was in high school, and that's what introduced me into law enforcement. Because at first I had no desire of even being in law enforcement. So that was really the main introduction to me being acclimated with law enforcement. So I would say what really contributed to me wanting to be is when I was in school and had that class.
Was that high school, college?
High school. Yeah,
Okay, so you started pretty early in your career. So how long have you actually been on the force now?
This past Sunday made 25 years.
Woo, wait, let me do it again. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you on your work anniversary. So you're still working and still grinding. Obviously you found a love and a passion because you could have gone on to anything else, but
Mhm.
you stayed there in your career for 25 years.
25 years. Yeah, I still love it. I'm ready to go though. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's just I don't know what's holding me. You know how you want to feel that you're ready to leave, and I want to feel that. And so I don't want to leave if I'm disgruntled or frustrated because I'm not. But
Mhm.
I really I want to feel that it's my time. So I think I'm looking at this year, maybe the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're gonna leave some good replacement because town needs town needs some good replacement. We ain't gonna talk about. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Hey.
So 25 years on the town of Walk Hill police force. And I know in that community, and there's been, historically some challenges with that department. You coming in as a Black man in that department, how did that affect you?
All right. So well, first I started in Rockland. I started
Okay.
in Rockland, and then I came down to the sheriff's department, Orange County Sheriff's Department, for about 3 months or so, and then I came to town of Walkill. It was difficult at first because there was a lot of challenges, racial barriers that you had to break through. People just looking at you weird. I had one time a person saying that they wasn't going to back me up. I had people trying to fight me. I've been called a nigga a bunch of times. Or could I say that even on here?
Yes, you can. Yes, as long as you comfortable with it, I'm all right with it.
Good, I'm good, good.
It's your
So
story.
yeah, so even in the community itself, but you see the change. It started getting diverse because I started in town of Wallkill in 2003. So yeah, so it definitely you see the change from what it was to what it is now, and it's more diverse now. So you don't get those type of racial epithets and
Right,
things.
right. Because I think the town itself overall has changed.
Hmm.
So there's much more diversity than, I've been here in the town of Walk Hill for like 21 years. So I definitely seen a big change myself.
Hmm.
So when you started out in Rockland, compare the two in terms of like if you had, well, I'm not going to ask you to compare the sheriff's department because that was a very small stint. But if you had to compare the two locations, because you're still in town Walker, but which so far is your favorite? Because you've been here forever.
Because it's two different. It was two different. I was in a unit in town of Wallkill. I mean, Rock.
Rockland. Okay.
So I actually climbed through the ranks in town of Wallkill. But as far as atmosphere, at first, I would have picked Rockland.
Really?
Yeah, the atmosphere was great. I didn't go through what I went through in town of Wallkill.
Right, right, right.
It was good. I had no issues. But in town of Wallkill, I had to fight through a lot of barriers just to be where I am today.
Well, and so you went through off so when you got to town of Walk Hill, you entered as an officer, though,
Yeah, but
coming from the specialized unit
they was still under federal monitoring at the time.
because of prior
Yeah,
incidents, right? So when you got there as an officer, how long did it take for you to make your first promotion?
maybe 4 years, I think. Maybe 4 or 5 years, somewhere around there.
And then so in the police structure, because 'cause I'm not really sure if the county is the same as New York City, so it goes from police sergeant,
No, it goes from police, you can make detective, then sergeant, then there's a detective sergeant, and then there's a lieutenant, and it was a deputy chief, but there's no more deputy chief. Then
and
it's
so where are you on the ranking structure right now?
I'm second in charge.
Excuse me. So we
Yeah.
know we got any problems, everybody, we gonna call him like, "Look, we got issues over here."
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, call LT, call LT. So I know we discussed prior, just in passing that you really feel like this may be the end of this road for you. But before we jump into some of the other things you do, give me a scenario in either rank, any of your ranks. What was your best day?
You know what? Really, my best day was during COVID when one of the guys that I developed a relationship with on the outside, and he came back, even though he had he was arrested and all this other stuff, but he was somebody that would like give me information and different things like that. He was cool, cool dude in the neighborhood. He got arrested. He came back and told me thank you, and I was like, thank me. He was like, yeah, thank you for doing what you do. And so that was one of the best. That's one of the best days when somebody you arrest come back and say thank you to you. Because I treat everybody like, like a person. I don't treat them like they're lower than me because that could be me if I make the
At
wrong.
any time, at
Yeah,
any time.
that could be me. So I treat everybody with respect, regardless of you being on the other side, and I treat you with respect. And so they come back and they say thank you, and that's one of the best things that happens to me.
Okay, wait, hold on, y'all. I got that. Wait, my chair thing again, because that's good. That's good stuff right there. So now that's happy times, right? That's happy. But during our careers, we have several days of good, several days of bad. So that was your highlight. Now tell me a low light, like one of the worst days that you've seen being on the job.
Well, I got plenty of those, but one.
Just one. Just one.
One of the worst days that I've seen was basically one of the town supervisors telling me they'll never promote me because um I don't act like on the job like I act in church.
So wait a minute. In your structure, doesn't the chief of police decide on the promotion? Why would the town supervisor have anything to do with that?
It's eyes on the promotion, but the town have to approve it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. The
Wow.
always fought for me. I got a great chief.
Well, we all know Chief Hartman is
Yeah,
a great
he,
guy.
he's a good guy. That man fought for me like my entire career. But, this time it was he really, really he really fought. I was the only one that passed the test for the lieutenants. I was the only one on the.
So what you telling me? It wasn't even a list and a matter of, oh, we can bypass him. You passed.
Mhm.
And he was like, nah, we just not gonna do it. We just not gonna promote him. Right. Not the chief, the
Yeah,
town supervisor. So did that go over well? Obviously, it worked out because you are in rank, but did
right.
you have to really go through anything, or was it like,
But yeah, I had to go through several interviews while others didn't have to do none of that. I had to but that was during each especially lieutenant, that was one of the the biggest fights that I've had. It was horrible. I had to go through extra steps to become a lieutenant while others didn't have to do all that.
And why do you think that was?
Wasn't they didn't certain people didn't want me.
They just didn't want you.
They 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 didn't want me. It could be, other reasons of race or whatever, but other than that, I didn't let it stop me though. I kept fighting and definitely the chief kept fighting. He was up there all the time fighting for me to become it. So, yeah. It was one of my worst days. I mean, besides being called a racial epithet, but
Don't they know that the pastor can't do that? Like, that's not unethical. Like, it doesn't make sense.
oh, they was hitting me hard. I had the PBA coming at me. It was crazy. NAACP had to step in one time. It was crazy, but no, we got through it.
And so just so everyone is aware, we're not really divulging too deep because he is still active. So I do not want to cause conflict. So you guys have to just kind of read between the lines a little bit. But we just wanted to shout him out and get his story and
Mhm.
some of his story because he has a lot of story. But I guess he'll divulge that once he retires. So we're just touching lightly on some things. Now let me ask you, being in ministry and being in law enforcement, have you ever had any conflict in doing your duties, like morally, like, oh my gosh, like this is not right? Tell
Mm.
me.
Nah,
No, you
nah,
said that quick.
mm-mm. People would think that it would be a conflict, but it really isn't because some of the people that I mean, most people, I don't really tell people what I do on the outside. And so if they do know me, still I have to do my job. You know what I mean? But I just do it more with sensitivity. I do it more with respect as opposed to others who may just be like, yo, they hard chargers. Me, I'm
Right,
more like, okay, well, let me find out why you did what you did and let me talk to you. Cause
right,
you a human being. Let's talk, let's chat. Let's
right,
chop it.
right, right.
But I never had a conflict as far as between my duty and my, what I believe or anything like that. No, I never had a conflict.
Well, that's good to know. So
Yeah.
I know you come from a strong faith-based family,
Mhm.
Kojic.
Mhm.
So y'all shouting every day.
Uh-huh. You getting there.
I know. So when you decided at such a young age to go into law enforcement, it was no question for you. But
Mhm.
how did that impact your family?
At first, probably my family members didn't want me to go into it, but I was just like, I'll be all right. They prayed for me every day, but I was good. You know what I mean? But after a while, they got acclimated to it. They adjusted basically, except for when I was in Rockland because of the job that I was doing. It was dangerous, but you know,
Yeah. Okay.
it prayed me through.
All right. Somebody prayed for me. Somebody prayed for me. I understand it. And now you're actually in that same role with your son being newly appointed
Yeah.
on the police force, not town of Walkill, but he's in law enforcement now. So how does that feel just to see it come full circle? You are now the parent of a child in law enforcement. So how do you feel about that?
Well, first I thought my oldest son was going into law enforcement. And he switched up. He
Okay.
used to teach. So I didn't know my youngest son wanted to be in law enforcement until he got out of college. I was coming home. He was like, "Oh yeah, dad, I wanna be a police officer." So I'm like, Really?" Like, okay. I went straight to work, take the test. So I had him take the test and he got on the list. And from there I just started working it and making sure that when he got called, he answered and things like that.
Well, that's the
I
That's
really
what
am.
that's what I was getting ready to get at. That's the basics of it. Yes, we walk him through, you have the experience to have him to give him that education. But I'm saying, how did you feel? Like, was there any point in time that your kids, right? So you'll know, like, this kid, since you're saying the oldest son, you're like, this kid right here, he gonna be a great one. You wasn't
He said,
thinking about the daughter. You wasn't thinking about the youngest son. You was like, nah, this is gonna be the one. So when you look at your kids and you look at him, was there ever a moment like, I I don't think this is the right career for you, boo. Like, did that ever cross your mind?
Nah, cause I think he gonna go further than me. He's smart, he good looking. Well, he is good looking, but he's smart. He got what it takes to be an officer. I told him just, don't be like every other officer. You be
Mhm,
yourself,
mhm.
and as long as you be yourself and you be true to yourself, you're gonna be all right. I told him go further than me, because I'm a lieutenant. Be chief,
Right.
run a department. Don't be on my level. If you didn't pass me, then maybe that was your path. I don't know, but I know you got what it takes to go above. And so I told him always go above and beyond. That's what I tell him all the time. Be better than me. Don't be like me. Be better than me.
That sounded like a sermon right there. I thought that sounded like you was getting ready to open up. Yes, give that motivational word. So not only do you serve and protect in uniform till this day, um, you're in politics too. So this is like just a crazy mix of stuff here. You politician, you are a pastor, and you're law enforcement. I don't know how you can put all of those hats on and not have conflict in some of the duties that you did. Now, I don't know when this is gonna air, but I did see you on TV today. That's all Imma say. I don't know when they gonna see it, but I saw it today because you was up there with our attorney general making things happen. That's all Imma say. So you, as the councilman at large in
Mhm.
the city of Newburgh, how did that come to be?
I was at work. First of all, I always wanted to run. My uncle was big in politics. He was in Newburgh, then he moved to Rochester, and he was big into politics. And that's when, man, I forgot David Patterson. When David Patterson was the governor, it was Cuomo, and I think it was Cuomo. It was one of them. It
Don't
was one.
confuse me. Don't confuse me.
I can't remember, but one of them moved out of office and David Patterson was in for a year or two or so, but he was big into politics, into the NAACP, and so he's the one that really opened up my eyes to politics at a young age. And I said, I always want to be mayor. And then I was just chilling, minding my own business at work, and I get a phone call and they said, "It's your time to run." And I was like, "Nah, I'm good." And I was like, I'm good. I can wait." And so they was like, "No, we need you to run." And I was like, "Let me pray on it." So I really was like, let me pray on it. But I was like, let me call my wife and see if it's cool, because if it's too much for the family, then I won't do it. And she was like, "Yeah, go ahead." So I went and did it. And, I told them, "Yeah, I'll do it." And we
Now, isn't
went.
that important that you have a supportive wife and family?
Yeah,
Isn't that
nah,
important?
yeah, it really is. It really is important to have the support around you, because you need it in politics. Politics is a different beast.
And how long have you made it in this position as councilman at large? So this was the initial position that you ran for? And
Yeah.
then okay.
So it's been 2.5 years.
So you have to run this year?
No, we're a 4-year term.
But the even year now, because they wanna put everything on even year, so you lucked up, so you don't have to do it this year. Great, good job, good for you.
I don't run again until.
Okay, okay, good. So when you decided and the wife gave you her blessing and you prayed on it and you said, "You know what? I'm gonna step into the
Mhm.
2, 3 very different dynamics." Tell us about stepping into that role. What was it? Why did you wanna do it? Just not because of your uncle, but something in your spirit had to say, "This is the reason why I'm doing it." What was your heart of hearts? What was your reason to go that way?
My heart is for the city. So, like, I really, really love my city. I've been here for 49 years, going on 50 this year, right? So, that's my dog. I really, really love, my city. I wanna see the betterment of it. I wanna see the change. I wanna see it move forward and strive. And so I always had that heart. Like, for instance, when I had the opportunity to go down to Georgia and live in Georgia, and, it just didn't feel right. Some of the doors didn't open the way I wanted it to open.
Mhm.
It just let me know that my work wasn't done here, and that's before I ran for, politics for the city of Newburgh. And I just know within my heart of hearts that I wanted to see change. So this was an opportunity for me to make change. And That's what I'm trying to do.
Now, before I just want to shout out City of Newburgh because I City of Newburgh to me is like Brooklyn. Brooklyn people, when they get somewhere, they be like,
But
bro,
we don't. All right.
when Newburgh get together, y'all coming neck to neck when it comes to that hype about your city. Okay? Newburgh is not playing.
Yeah, I don't play about my city. We the sixth borough.
That's
Yeah.
what they say. But for the people in the city, they don't even know. If y'all don't come up here to Newburgh and go to the waterfront and then check out what's going on up here in this city, you will definitely see. You will definitely see.
Wife
They
is
are
from
the sixth borough.
Brooklyn. My
Say
wife
again?
is from Brooklyn.
See? See? She knew where to go. She went from one entity.
She not in Brooklyn no more. She in Newburgh. You gotta rep Newburgh now. I'm gonna buy out with Brooklyn shirts. I'll take that on. I'm putting you on Newburgh now. Newburgh shirts all the way. Hat, everything.
Oh, Lord. So listen, you also, not only you, but so everyone, just to clarify. So he got Lieutenant Mclymore does come from not only himself as ministry and his family, but your mother is also in politics, correct?
Yeah, she's in politics. She won last year for this year, of course. She's in office this year. She's in the town. I'm in the city, she's in the town.
So we got y'all running Newburgh all over the place, the city and the town, just taking over.
You know they gonna be hating.
Oh, that's a special accomplishment. Like you
Is.
have mother and son both in office sitting at the same time, although it's a different district, but it's still in the same county. So that's an amazing, just spectacular feat in itself. You know what I'm saying? So how did you feel? Now, how long? Because I think your mother's been in politics longer than you, yes?
Yeah, she used to run people campaign. She was a campaign manager, and then she was a campaign manager for me. So
Well, that's why you won, because it was just easy that she knew what she knew to do. She knew what she do.
no, she knew what to do, and I'm glad I had her because also she was around to protect me too. You know.
Right. That's very important. Well, mothers are gonna protect their sons at all costs. Let me tell you. I
Oh,
protect mine all day, all night. And I know that youngest one, that one there, yeah. That's that one there. But so when you decided to run and your mom became your campaign manager,
mhm.
now you're both in office. Did you look to her as well for any additional guidance in how to navigate your new role in office?
No, I mean, soon as I finished, she started running. So
You didn't
she
really
was
have that time.
yeah, I didn't have that time with, to spend with her. So I had other people that I would tap into, what I call my circle of wisdom. And I would call them, talk to them. And the mayor was definitely Mayor Harvey. He was somebody that I would ask, how do you do this? How you do that? So he would give advice as well. And then Patty Sophocles and Bob Sklarts, they all were there to make sure that it would be, I would be successful. So, and I had to pave my own way because, like they told me, nobody owns your vote. You got to stand on your own. So, whatever you decide, you got to make sure you stand on that. And that's what I did.
So when you encourage, so we have a lot of encouragement going on. So when you're in your role as the politician, how do you encourage and get people to understand the importance of their vote? Like, because I know in your committee in the your community in the city of Newburgh, right? That demographic of people sometimes is just like, nah, I'm not going to vote. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
how do you reach those people? What is it that you're doing so different to get the community involved and get them to come together?
I think it's more of just getting them to understand though that there is power in your vote. Like it counts. Every vote counts. If you do not vote, then I can't get in office. So you can't just go around and assume that he gonna win already. And
Right.
that's the mentality. He gonna win already. Or they just be like, nah, I ain't voting at all. But once they really know you, they're gonna support you. They're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, all right. If you take me over there, then I'll vote. If you do the mail-in ballot, then I'll vote." But it's to get them excited and get them to understand that they have power because some people don't know the power of their vote, and local voting is even more powerful than your national vote. Your national vote. because locally you see what's going on. You see the changes that could be made, but it takes a little longer nationally to see different.
Exactly.
So that's why I stress a lot with the local vote. Like you have to get out and vote. And if you don't vote me in, we're gonna lose that. We're gonna lose your representation. So
Right.
if you think that I represent you, then you gotta get out there and vote.
And I mean, you have a little young swagger to you, so you should be able to get out there and get with the young men and get with the youngsters on, especially with the church. You got to get the youth in the church involved.
And
And I'm sure now when you put down that political hat, I'm sure, they don't like to say that religion is bipartisan.
mhm,
So do you come across because you're and this is what I'm saying about the conflict. Because you are a pastor, technically, you ain't gotta be bipartisan. Do
mhm.
you have a issue with that?
Nah, I work on both sides. Like, I work with I work with everybody. As long as you're doing the right thing and you pushing towards the vision and the dream and your intentions and integrity is intact. Nah, let's rock. We can work together. There was Republicans that voted for me.
Right.
One of my I call him my godfather. He was the former mayor. He's a Republican. One of my friends that emceed my ceremony. He was a Republican. But then I had Democrats as well who are in definite support of me. I cross the lines.
But I think, like I said this to Bernard Rivers that was on the show not too long ago. Matter of fact, it
Okay.
should be airing. Yeah, I had him on the other day.
Yeah.
He One of the things I said that I think the biggest issue is that we are always separated by something, right? So from the time that we're born, we're
Mhm.
separated by sex. He's a
Mhm.
male, she's female.
Mhm.
Then we're separated as we get older, we're separated by race. They're
Mhm.
black, white, Chinese, whatever.
Mhm.
Then, so now we're already at two separations from the gate, right? Then you get separated when it comes to the party.
Mhm.
Republican, you're Democrats, of course, there's some independent.
Mhm.
But now we push those things aside and we have a conversation. You don't know what I am.
Mhm.
Right? Because I can look black, but you don't know whether or not I'm mixed, right? So let's just say you don't know what my voting practices are, whether I'm a Democrat, Republican, whatever. So we have a great conversation. We're talking, we're vibing. We're like, yeah, you agree with me, I agree with you. And then
Mhm.
as soon as I say, yeah, they be like, by the way, are you a Republican or are you a Democrat? And you say whichever one you are. And if they're the opposite, everything you just bonded with
Goes out the window.
can go out the window. Just because they have that different R or different D, people really need to focus on the facts
Mhm.
and focus on the alignment. Are we in alignment with what we want to do for the community? Are we in alignment what we want to do with the seniors? Are we in alignment what we want to do with the housing? Are we in
Mhm.
alignment, right? Be in alignment. And then once that is solidified, it doesn't really matter
Mhm.
what it is. I think that's the biggest issue. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think also as far as with alignment, I'm right with you. Long as we are moving in the same direction with the mission and fulfilling that mission and fulfilling that goal, then we good. We good. I really try not to focus too much or get into a debate with people who would think something otherwise than you this and you that. Man, all right, whatever. I keep moving. Like
Right.
because you can't stop me from reaching that goal.
Yeah. Shots fired. Yeah. Be within your own party. Yeah. That part.
It's within your own party that you got to be careful of some of the people because it's a jealousy factor. So you moving and you doing the things and then boom, they mad at you for doing it. And I'm like, wait, you was with me. How you gonna be mad and you stabbing me in the back just so you can get ahead or get a little shine? We all shining together.
We're
So let's
supposed to be. We're
it's
supposed to be.
supposed to be.
Right.
What what's best for the community? That's all I want to know is like what's best for the community. And so,
Mhm.
sometimes it's within your own party.
And that's a sad state of affairs, and that's just with anything else. The same thing in your job, right? It could be your own people that's
Mhm,
like, "Wait a minute, like, you should be happy for me." Or even
mhm.
in ministry, it's your
Yeah,
own people. So,
yeah.
a lot of times, we have to understand that we can't group people up and say it's everyone.
Mhm,
You have to be able to say and identify over here it's a set amount of people or over here it's a bad group of people. Over
mhm,
here it's a good group of people. You just can't clump everybody up in one here. Everybody is the same.
mhm.
So I think we have to move away from that and see people as individuals
Yeah.
and see each party if someone in a party, when it comes to politics, is not doing the right thing, you can't just say it's the whole party or the whole party they're weak or the whole party they're dumb and the whole party they're not doing enough and the whole party because that's not the case. So,
Right, right.
case of what will be, what will be. We got to change some things. We got to change some things. So, with that being said, if you had to give, aside from your son, another young person advice in not well, we have some good advice from you. We can talk a couple things, but in law enforcement, if they wanted to go down the road that you have done for the last 25 years,
Mm.
what would that be?
I would tell them, first of all, be true to yourself. If true to yourself, you're gonna go far. Secondly, don't stop. Just because there's hurdles and obstacles in the way, because there's gonna be some. Don't ever give up. Just keep going. And third of all, achieve your dreams because success is on you. That's my motto. My motto is success is on me. It's also a trademark, so y'all can't steal that.
So where the paraphernalia at? Where the gear? Where the gear? You trademarking it. Where's the gear?
I sold out of it, right? And then I said, "Wait, hold on, because I gotta trademark my stuff." So I went through the trademarking process, so I'm waiting for the official trademark to come through, and then I'll be selling it again. But yes, that success is on me. Always know that. Keep that in the back of your mind when you start questioning yourself. Just realize that success is on you and it's gonna take you far. Stay true to yourself.
Well, we thank you for that advice. And what advice would you give to the young people who are thinking about entering politics? So they may be questioning, is this something that I can do? Because, a lot of times people don't think it's obtainable.
Mhm.
So, what would you give a young person who's watching you and saying, you know what, I think I want to be involved in the community. I think I want to run for local office. What would you say?
I would say learn. Learn as much as you can. Find a mentor who's already there and find somebody, a mentor that you can is basically, how can I say this? Wherever you want to be and that person is there, look for that person and then strive above them or her. Because you want to learn as much. You want to learn from them, but you always want to go further than them. So
Well, that's
I would
kind of what you told your son when you
huh?
told him be better than you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause for me, it's more of, cause even when I got in, looking at the mayor and different people, I learned from them. But, if it's God's will, I'll be mayor. If it's God's will, I'll be, senator or congressman. I don't know. I'll
Do
see
you
it.
have aspirations for that?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I'm trying to rock where I am right now. Where I am right now. Listen, when I tell you that politics is tough. It really is. It's tough, especially local politics. And you really gotta be ready for it. It's a different beast. You gotta be ready for it. So, I would tell somebody, find you a mentor.
I just have to agree with you when you say it's a different beast.
Mhm.
And sometimes you find yourself very much alone,
Mhm.
and people don't realize that you're working for them.
Mhm.
And you'll go to people and say, "Hey, I'm doing so and so." They don't have time for you. They ain't
Mhm.
helping you, but you
Mhm.
over here fighting for them.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
definitely you have to have a strong will and strong mindset to do
Right.
that. you know,
Right.
and we thank you for that, you know,
Yeah.
because we need more of us in the
Mhm.
community, right? We
Mhm.
need diversity throughout the community. And I'm not just saying black, I'm not just saying Hispanic, I'm not just saying white. Diversity, however that looks for you, right?
Mhm.
We need diversity because at the end of the day, no one demographic should be able to pick and choose for everybody.
Right.
Everybody has to have a voice.
Right.
And even if you don't want to be in the political realm, then yes, you need to vote because that vote is your voice.
Mhm.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I know you are such a hard man to get. You working so hard out there in that town of Walk Hill. You know, with all those 3 hats you got going on, pastor, tenant, politician. There's a lot going on over there, but thank you so
Yeah.
much. And we look forward, and we're definitely praying for you while you're out there. And we look forward to more to come. If you decide to run for anything else, please let us know so we can be there to support you. And
Yeah.
thanks so much for coming on When the Blue Comes Off. And everybody, thank you for being here. And we look forward to seeing you all the next time on When the Blue Comes Off.